think there could be like a body positivity sort of movement, but also the reality of, let's say, maybe more some European countries, let's say, Spain, France, Italy, for example, where it's not exactly like fat shaming, but your family, your friends, if you're gaining weight, it'll be like, what's going on? You're getting a little fat. Like, and
Mm.
it's more like just baked into the culture where it's not rude. It's kind of just people just, like everyone's gravitating towards this norm of what is healthy and acceptable. And these are traditionally healthier societies than, let's say,
Mhm.
Canadian American sort of culture, even the UK to an extent. And so it's hard to say what all these factors are, because in Europe you are walking more. There is difference in the food supply, like Medicaid, like there's all these things baked into it. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, it is hard to pin it down. So you really are trying to split an atom here to
Yeah.
create a weight loss plan for every single person that sees you.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate what you're saying because it is complex, and I'm not, and in a podcast we have the obligation to try to simplify and clarify. But if anybody comes away from here thinking that they've got all the answers, I want you to email me and let me know what the answer is.
Right.
I think really what we're talking about here is that it is not eat less, exercise more, and I would be curious to know if family members in Europe that tell other family members they're getting fat, I would be curious to know whether that really makes a difference. Because in my work, many, many, many of my clients have been told by actually very loving, caring family members, as well as maybe caring doctors who are concerned about them, have given them weight loss advice or criticized their body, and that has not made the difference. That is not what changes people. Ultimately, we have to get beyond the surface. What do you look like, or what do I think I know about you by looking at your body size? We really
Right.
need to be more, as you said, nuanced about this and understand that a person in a very small body who is not physically active, maybe not eating healthy, maybe has even an eating disorder, or maybe an undiagnosed cancer or thyroid issue or something else, that we can't assume that that person is healthy. And I would argue that we
Right.
can't assume that a person in a larger body is automatically unhealthy. We have to get more clear about, and let's just take a step back and say, is it any of our business anyway? Could we even promote a culture that feels less inclined to judge others based on external attributes? Could we even just step back from assuming that we know something about somebody just by looking at them? I think we're getting to a place where we need to be much much more open to the idea that people have a right to live in the body that they have. And we're not just talking about body size here, of course. There's all kinds of things that people make judgments about. Maybe that's part of the problem that we need to solve here.
Right. Yeah, I think that's part of it. Like, I don't think anyone, well, I don't think most people want to insult and make loved ones or other people feel uncomfortable with how
But it
their
does,
body
though.
looks. Or
But it
it
does. To be
it,
really
it
clear, it does. It makes people feel othered, and makes people feel bad, and it makes them self-conscious. And none of those things actually, for the vast majority of people, is going to change their body size. What changes
right.
people's body size is if they are going to start to eat according to their body's needs, if their metabolism hasn't been totally ruined by decades of yo-yo dieting, if they are, and I mean, I have to be honest with you. Sometimes I've worked with people who were binge eating and really struggling with that, and they don't anymore, and their body size doesn't change that much,
Right.
but their life changes significantly because they're no longer thinking about food all the time, or feeling bad about themselves, or feeling out of control. They are in charge, and they're not using food to try to stuff emotions. They're learning how to manage their emotions recognize their emotions and use food in a way that's much more balanced. So again, it's pretty nuanced, and I don't, I
Right.
don't have the simple answer that everybody wants, but I can tell you that what we've been doing for 100 years or more is not working. And in fact, I would argue that it's actually contributing to the increase in body size on average in our cultures.